Okay, first things first, I'm the realist. And then I need to get gas. I was halfway home from work and my gas light came on. So, very first thing before anything, stop at a gas station. Luckily, there are a couple on the way. There's one right on the other side of this intersection up here, so probably go to that one. And then we can get to talking about some big time chest movements. Not really. I don't move a lot of weight on chest. But it's chest day, you know? It's another day that I go to the gym and I hit chest. Yeah, I do that. Um, what is there to talk about today? I was thinking about a couple of topics that we could bring up on this car ride. I guess there's not a whole lot of time now because I've got to stop for gas in the middle of the way and I don't want to stop in the middle of a conversation because I tend to lose my train of thought. But today's focus probably going to be hitting some plate loaded machines and trying to focus just that. And we'll just have to see what's open. You know, I really like finishing the workout with flies, like a really high load squeezing movement. It just feels like it burns the muscle that much more. I don't always like to start with a squeezing because then I feel like I'm just wearing out the muscle before like any of the heavy lifting begins. Which I mean, it's not a big deal because either way you're getting a workout. It's just in my brain, it doesn't work that way. But we will pick up this conversation when I finish pumping my own gas. But getting back on the track here, talk about chest. Obviously, because today is chest day. You know, I don't want to focus on what we're talking about here. I was talking about chest flies. You know, with the I usually do the cable because it's the most open. I feel like doing a squeezing moment like a fly, or like a single arm kind of movement, could be a lot more fatiguing, more than the heavy, like I guess less. I don't even like less refined. Like a bench press or any sort of pressing movement is going to give you a really good squeeze and a decent stretch. But like that, something about pulling that weight in just tears the chest apart, right? So usually when I'm going in and I hit those, I don't want to hit anything after because I have just absolutely ripped my flesh off the bone. So I don't know, if I find some friendly looking fellas, I might get somebody to spot me. I'll hit a bench press, but I don't like doing bench unless I have someone to spot me because I haven't been in the gym long enough to really like memorize what my weights are on anything. I have it all written down, but you know, it's just I don't have the flow of everything just yet. I'll get there eventually. But in the meantime, it really is just a matter of go in and figure out what's open and kind of go from there. There's not a whole lot of planning your day out in this gym. It's always busy when I get there. Well, that's partially because everybody's doing the same thing that I'm doing, where the only time they can go really is right after work, or in my case, it's just the most convenient because I go home after work and then I come back out into the gym. So I actually go, yeah. So rather than going after work on my way home, I actually find it more convenient for me to go home and then take the dogs out, drink some water if I need to, and then come back to the gym. Just works out that way, and it's just because I do it doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because the super ripped dude over there on his social media page does it doesn't mean you have to do it. You find what works for you best and you drag on. And if something's not working, something's got to change. But that doesn't mean that you have to do what they're doing because what they're doing works for them, not you. You are your own thing. You have to figure out how you work. And I can guarantee you it's not how those guys work. Those guys are like, you got to be bred for it, man. Like, I swear, like, it's. I don't know how some of those people get to the size that they do. And my end goal is not to get anywhere near that size. I just want to tone my body out because I have way too much fat on my bones. So I guess this is more of a weight loss journey than anything else. And then once I get there, we'll see if I feel like continuing or not. But for now, we're just going to do chest because it's chest day. Let's not think 10 years into the future of me and what am I going to do then? I guess there's a point there, like for motivation and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, what's the point in sitting here and thinking, oh, well, if I don't do this now, what am I going to be like 10 years from now? Every day is a new day. You have a chance to do something new every day. It's just your choice whether or not you want to get out there and do it. I am very uncomfortable with the whole fact of recording myself, but I just have that feeling that, one, if I track my progress, I'm going to end up continuing to do it in a much more consistent pattern. But two, I feel like someone else, even if it's just one person, is going to see these videos that mean nothing to no one else and think, wow, I'm that guy. Thanks. If I could help one person in the entire world from what I'm doing here, that would make my day. That would make this entire thing worth it. But I'll get back to you guys later. I don't know if that'll be in the gym or out of the gym. You'll see me when you see me. That is the first chest day of my weight loss chapter in the books. I'm feeling pretty darn good about it. I came in here thinking, I'd hit a hammer strength machine and then hit something in between, and then immediately after that, close it off with some flies. And then I go in and I do my cardio, which I cut short again, but this time because my legs were they're fired up. But don't be thinking this is going to become an everyday thing. You give an inch and you want a mile. If I keep cutting it short, I'm going to end up 20, 15, 10, and I'll just be doing a 5-minute walk before I start my workout. Then that doesn't do any good. You're not burning any calories. You're barely getting your heart rate up. Well, depending on the person. I'm barely getting my heart rate up. But while I'm on my cardio, regardless, watching a older-ish, not too old video from RP Strength. He's a guy I really like watching, a lot of the science-based stuff. He's helped me a lot with a lot of the things that I do in the gym now that I didn't do a couple of years ago when I wasn't coming in consistency and all that. But I've looked into his videos, and a lot of the stuff he's said has really helped me. And I'm watching a video that's talking about overhyped chest workouts. Because I figured, you know what? I'm on the treadmill. The video is 20 minutes long. And I'm doing chest. So I might as well, learn something. And you know what they said? They said the two most overhyped workouts for your chest were the hammer press. And can you guess it? Can you? The pec fly. I know, it's crazy. You might as well just say I was not even doing chest, right? Well, all in all, it's not that serious, as long as you're getting in the gym and you're moving weight, feel it, you're making progress. But depending on how you hit the weight and where you move the weight, it all changes so much. And that's stuff that I'm really interested in. It's something I want to continue to grow in. So I just wanted to share that was pretty interesting, that what I thought was the best program actually ended up being not that. So I ended up actually going to flat bench. Like I said, I might. Didn't get a spotter though. I just kind of felt it out, and when I felt it getting heavy, I just dropped it a little bit and did for higher reps, just to play it safe, less likely to injure yourself that way. Then you don't look like a complete idiot in the gym, slamming weights off of both sides of the bars and stuff. Excuse me. No one wants to be that guy. So, ended up hitting that. Nothing crazy. Repped it out. Did about 3 sets. And then right after that, I went over to this machine. It's got the arms that come up and down. And put it on like a really low setting. Like low as an angle, not weight. It was low in weight too. I was only able to move like 15 pounds. So put that in the lower position, kind of went from a stretched downward to like almost like a up here, like a praise the Lord kind of movement, And that is probably the most activated I have ever felt my upper chest. I was afraid I was going to hit my delt a lot more in my chest doing a down up motion, but if you go slow enough with a light enough weight and you really feel that eccentric, as you hear a lot of bodybuilders talking about, I heard that word thrown around a lot, but it's for good reason. It's like a lot of those like really little details that give you a lot of progress is the slow eccentric, when you really feel the movement. You're not trying to just lug weight around. If you're just throwing the weight around, you're not going to look good. You're not going to feel good. Probably going to be really sore in the morning, and it's not going to amount to anything. Anyways, I'm ranting again. Felt the eccentric really good. Made sure I was feeling that stretch in the chest and not in the delt so much. When I came up, I almost tried to scoop it. I didn't want to just go from A to B, because I feel like I'd contract a lot of front delt moving this way. So I just tried to almost like a swoop motion. And oh my goodness. That is going on my chest workouts from now on. That was an amazing feeling. Highly recommend trying to find a way to make that work in your cable system in your gym. Or if you don't have a cable system, you could probably simulate the same thing with some sort of dumbbell. Maybe sitting on a slightly inclined bench and doing with a dumbbell. I can see that kind of working. I can see that really working. But it's just a matter of whatever you have, Let's keep going. I'm gonna drive a lap. But all in all, today felt very productive. I can't really tell, but yeah, and there's no pose today because, one, I don't want to take off my shirt, and two, there's so much fat on my chest that you couldn't be able to see anything I did. Anyways, the only reason I posed down for arms is because I really like how my arms look. That's about it. They're just I can say it's for tracking progress, but if that were the case, I'd be doing it with every other muscle too. So, I guess, what should I take away from this? Definitely do that low to high cable motion again. That was a good motion. What else? Don't be afraid to talk to people in the gym. Pretty sure some guy tried to talk to me today, but my earbuds were so loud I didn't hear him. He ended up just kind of sitting there waiting for the bench to be open. It felt really uncomfortable. But I mean, don't be afraid to like, don't do it mid set, but like, go up to a guy, tap him on the shoulder, be like, "Hey man, don't know if you heard me," you know. And yeah, there's gonna be like some butt heads in the gym, but most of all, like we've all been in your shoes at some point, wherever that may be. You know, I don't know you very well, so I can't say yes or no. Go. But don't be afraid to talk to people. It's natural, it's human to reach out and want to communicate. It's taken from a guy who spent years without any form of human communication except for family that he lived with immediately. And that was not fun. You need human communication from strangers, from people you don't know a lot about, people that intrigue you in a way. Because it just, I don't know what the science is. I am not a scientist. I'm just a guy who goes to the gym a couple times a week. But if there's one thing I do know, it's that you gotta get outside. If all you do is surround yourself with internal things, with all these temporary satisfactions, like sitting on your phone, playing video games, eating food, trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. I'm still trying to get out of it, and I haven't been in that exact spot in years. So take the advice now. If you're that guy who's sitting on his phone or sitting in his couch or in his bed watching me right now talking about getting better and getting out, if you're that guy sitting there watching someone else do it, go out and do it. If you can't afford it or you don't have an income right now to go to a gym, there are plenty of in-home workouts that you can do, and it has changed my life. Just not even a gym or not even a workout or an exercise of any sort. It's create a rhythm. Don't make your entire day, I can't remember the word. I'm sure somebody's going to beep boop bop it up in there. But you need a system. You need something that is consistent every day that you can cling to. But at the same time, you need a little bit of variety, so you don't want to just sit there and do the same thing every day. So find something productive that you can do almost every day and try to reach out in whatever that is for you and expand yourself and just make a community. I'm ranting, but it's helping. These videos are meant more for me than for anyone else, so I guess it's not a big deal. But just get out and do something, find what makes you happy, and find a couple of other people, a couple other human beings that enjoy doing the same thing. And that's going to make a giant difference in your life. Yeah, advice from this guy. You got it, champ. Okay, well, I gotta go in, finish this protein. Got some chicken in the fridge I'm gonna cook up. I'll see you guys tomorrow for shoulders. What an exciting workout, right? Who dedicates an entire day to shoulders? Well, I have a lot of front delt, so I need to dedicate an entire day to side and rear delt. So I'll see you then.